trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what these mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. At your mama crib ain't getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining, I gotta bitch change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day these take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it, ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here we go. 51 for Mo. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
This is Elliott, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. A nice 1st down pickup on a gain of 6. Faced with their first 3rd down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen 3rd down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board, and they're able to avoid that 3 and out. Here's Prescott. And Cooper able to work his way open. That's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
It's a gain of 23 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Check 15, check 15.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early in the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. Now Prescott. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To throw is Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete. Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Able to force him out of the pocket right, but still able to complete it. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 6-0 our score after one.
Ready? Yellow 80! Check, check, yellow 80! Get ready, get ready, get ready. Shoot!
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 27-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo! Slam, slam. He's coming. Double up, double up.
Here's Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Easy, easy. Thumbs up the helmet. Here we go, here we go.
Just beating the play clock. Stafford. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
At their own 27-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I'm coming after you. Check, check.
They'll run with Elliott. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Check.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
It's a big play there for the Lions. 41 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Double right. Watch the shit. Check, check. Omaha, ready, move. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. You go tight. You got
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson.
You ain't going nowhere.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year, franchise rookie record for Dallas en route to a Pro Bowl appearance.
Hey, Charlie.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And this one is right down Broadway. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
We go 46. 46.
Prescott to throw it. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Prescott on 1st down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Here's Elliott. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Zero. 32. 55. 55.
Now Stafford. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
From the gun, here's Stafford. The throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Now Forbath for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
The Lions take over 1st and 10.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Looking for his tight end, Witten, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
To Marvin Jones. Out of bounds just past midfield.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Slam, slam, slam. Wide, get wide. Check the backer. Watch twist. Hey, Red. Watch twist. Hey. 32.
Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Sua Cravens with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
At their own 32-yard line.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing on 3rd down. Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10.
Check. 36.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Hey, Mike, here we go, 46. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry.
From the 44, Prescott. And now he'll tuck it and run. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
The tackle by Jelani Tavai. It's a gain of 6. And it's third down.
Here we go. Here we go, D.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be fourth down and a few inches. On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And that'll make it third down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Byron Jones. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Check Mike, 54. 54. Man out. Shift. Switch.
From the 25 on second down, Stafford. And my goodness, another interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Forbath able to convert the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
On the
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Robert Quinn in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Lions on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Throwing deep for Galladay. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jeff Heath. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. On 2nd and a couple, Prescott. He's got the connection to Cooper. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons.
Watch the
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Prescott. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Well, that play certainly took a long time, and that's why a lot of coaches in training camp, they use a whistle or a horn at about 3 seconds because they want the ball in the hands of the quarterback. They want the play to develop quickly and get the ball downfield. This one had to go over 5 seconds holding on to the football, and then he ends up getting hit, and they have an incompletion.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Hey, wahoo!
Throwing again. Stafford. His throw incomplete. Kenny Golladay, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Back to throw. Stafford. Throwing deep for Golladay. And my goodness, another interception. Xavier Woods with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015...
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, 85 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. He sets to fire, and now here is another interception. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Cooper's got it. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a 1st. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Prescott's pass caught by Austin. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 14. Throwing here, Prescott escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead. But I've seen this a bunch of times as well.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Forbath to add the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take in the next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A shotgun snap for Stanford. This one complete to Coleman. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in.
Wanna be her for your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curve like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my